So I just wanted to talk about your teaching for a moment. So you come from a teaching background, and you were you excelled in that area, and then you decided to, I guess, go into the creative sphere with your writing. So what was it like making that decision, and how did your family react to that?
Yeah, I kind of still feel like an educator. I don't feel like I've ever left that sphere, because I found that when I became a writer, or was doing a lot of writing, and it was being noticed and picked up, and the projects that I went for, it really came through a process of inquiry, and inquiry is taught to students in schools all across New Zealand. And for instance, the first books I wrote and we created was the Mila's Gagana series. So they were a set of 3 books, just to help develop the gagana confidence of Te Maiti Whaonga, as well as families who were struggling. And so that came from a need, and it came from a gap. There were no books. I couldn't find anything for my own children. I went to the library and saw the small, sad stack of books that were Pasifika, that were meant to be highly engaging and meant to be promoting our culture, in comparison to the millions of books that were written by Palangi for Palangi. So it didn't make sense to me. So what I did, not being able to find these resources in a book format, was create them. So I started writing them for my own children, including the language, and then did a proposal, sent them off, got picked up by a publisher. So everything I've kind of done after that, with Mila's Gagana series, online articles that I've written and published, as well as the Teine Samoa book, it's my most recent project, has always been about developing that cultural confidence and that understanding, and most importantly, making sure that we're seen and that we're heard and we're valued as Samoan, as tangata Pasifika. And I think that's what has made my family really, really supportive and really proud of me. Had a beautiful moment with them, my parents, last year, who sat me down and told me how proud they were of me, of the work that I'm doing for our people, as well as the non-Pasifika people, helping them to understand, because it's twofold. It's for our own people to connect with each other and to be supportive and to develop their own confidence and understanding. And then it has to work with those who are non-Pasifika, because they need to see us, and they need to hear us and value us. And by valuing us, we need to be in all the worlds that we live in, not just home, not just church. So they've been my family have been really supportive, and for those reasons, Yeah,
that's really awesome. And I do think that, your book series, Mila's Gagana series, is so important, because from a very young age, our Pasifika children can see themselves reflected in books that they're reading at school. And, for the other children in class, they can see that it's normal to have Samoan kids in a book.
Absolutely, and there's different, I remember growing up, I didn't see names, I didn't see characters, I didn't see our experiences. I only saw Molly going on picnics, no one was going to kongais, and when we don't see ourselves in these books that we read, I think about our Te Maiti, and I think about the message that they see from that. So where are they and their culture and who they represent, their families, where are they represented? And does that mean that we're valued in that world? That's a message that our children are getting. And this is why you hear so many children, I've had so many students in the past who have said, oh, miss, but it doesn't matter. Because when we go out into the Palangi world, this is what matters. Not to be that, not to show our kongais, not to teach them how to say our names properly, because we're never featured in anything. So I've had real conversations with students and educators who have these issues over years. I've been teaching for over a decade now, and I know for a fact that these issues have been happening a long time before I came, and that they're still happening now. So for me to produce books that have our kids included, our language included, that support Pasifika as well as non-Pasifika to understand us, is really, really important. But this is why I want so many of us to actually jump on board and to produce things like this, because we can do it out for ourselves. And the things that are out there, they should be, whatever is for us, it should be by us. And that's one important lesson that I've definitely learned on this journey.
Yeah, nothing about us without us.
That's right, absolutely.
So I want to delve a bit more into your creative journey and lessons that other people can draw, but first we've got to take a break.
Yeah.